Welcome to Business Over Beer, where entrepreneurs, small business owners, and people passionate about what they do bring us their stories and their favorite beer. Hosted by Ben Surratt, Jonathan Kaler, and Jason Knope, it's time to get down to business and drink some beer.
I am really excited to find out more about the course that you're developing, because I think that's going to tie into all of this conversation that we just had. And of course, I want to find out about your podcast and get into some other maybe more heavy topics. But
my favorite.
Ben, you look thirsty, bro.
I am thirsty.
I knew it.
Reland.
Yes, sir.
Every episode of the Business Over Beer podcast, my lovely wife, Angie, sends us a gift. And this gift happens to be a mystery beer. We call this segment Angie's Mystery Beer. Now, Kaler has a very, very good phrase to describe the types of beers Angie picks for us. Can you please let everybody know and Ray know the phrase that you use to describe the beers?
They are high octane.
Oh.
So,
would you say often referred to as, how do you say it, motor oil?
moral.
That was just that one beer that stout. It was heavy. It was like motor oil. And that was also a callback to our friends at Ridgefield Craft Brewing, Mike Bomar, who referenced that Angie's Mystery Beer as motor oil.
We use, so what we do, we make this a game, okay? And the game is, I don't know if she marked the cap off. What we're going to try to do is open it. Okay, you open it. Don't look at it. Do you have a glass at all? You have a mug!
She's got 100 of them. What are you talking about?
I'm making space for my mug.
You pour a little bit out, you sip, and we try to guess what it is. You know, we never really do it, but you know, it's a game.
Pinky's up. Okay, I've poured the gasoline into the mug. I feel like I'm trying to guess what it is by leaning in. No, I'm going to be able to guess. Like you guys are going to kick my ass at this. All right, here we go.
We never get it.
We suck at this. All right, Prost.
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 Fruity.
It's pumpkin-y.
Yeah, it is very pumpkin-y. It has it's 100% pumpkin pie.
Yes,
something.
It is.
God, is it
a Belgian?
She did that once before. She gave us a pumpkin. It's kind of like that.
Oh my gosh, what is that? That big one. There's a pumpkin. Oh, it's gonna kill me now.
You're talking about the Elysian.
Is that what I'm talking about?
Yeah, with the owl. The owl.
Oh well, then we know it's not that.
Yeah, there's definitely some spice in here, and almost to me, it tastes almost weedy.
Yeah, it is very full, but it 100% has pumpkin spice in it. You know, for all our basics in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Sure.
Doesn't taste strong though. It's not like
it doesn't come across real big. It doesn't come across real high octane.
Angie was nice to me. Tell your wife I appreciate her.
Don't count your chickens just yet.
Yeah, don't.
Because
she fools you.
Yeah, it could be a fooler.
You have no idea. It could be like it tastes really good and it's like 18%.
Guys, I have to make it through a show. I'm a lightweight.
I don't know what to make of this, guys. I'm not sure whether or not I like it or hate it. It's certainly not. It's not in between. It's kind of weird. Do you remember when she brought that Leinenkugel's pumpkin?
It wasn't like that. Yes.
It reminds me of that. It's not as weedy. It's not as Belgian-y as that beer was.
The pumpkin shandy that should never have happened.
It was a shandy. That's what it
that
was.
should never have happened.
Love your wife.
This is like a golden ale. I'm gonna say pumpkin golden ale.
That's
what I'm calling it. And I already know who the brewery is, but I'm not gonna say.
I didn't. Okay.
It got ruined for me.
All right.
I should know better.
Ray.
Big reveal.
Yes.
Big reveal, please.
Oh, I get to be Vanna again?
Yes, please.
That has racial implications, but that's fine.
You said it.
I said it. I know. It is pumpkin ale because we're all so smart. From
Dude.
Dogfish Head.
Bro, that was on point. See?
You're so talented.
Bro, that was on point. You did it.
And it's only 7%, so it's not overly high octane. So we were right in that regard.
I don't hate it.
But
It's a
7%,
brown ale.
But at 7%, it's certainly not soft.
No.
No.
Do they have a description here? Oh, see, I'm not right. See, it says brown ale.
Yeah, it's a brown ale.
Oh, no way is this a brown ale.
Come on. It's
Look
not
at that.
sweet enough. It's not sweet
No
enough to be
way.
brown, and it doesn't
No
look brown.
way.
With pumpkin, brown sugar, allspice, cinnamon, and nutmeg. All the things that make pumpkin spice.
No. Dogfish Head, contact us. I call BS on that. No way.
I get the pumpkin and the brown sugar and the allspice. I get all that. But it's not brown. It's not thick enough to be brown.
No, look at that. It's light. You can see through it.
It doesn't have enough body to be brown. There's not enough malt for it to be brown. There's certainly not enough color for it
There's
to be
no
brown.
malt. I don't taste any malt.
Mm-mm.
Canope, what do you think?
It's all right. I think it's a pumpkin ale.
It's
Okay.
I was gonna say it's okay.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to twist my arm to drink it. I'll drink it, but yeah, it's just okay for me.
Canope, what blows you away? What is more than okay? Now I'm curious.
Oh boy.
What blows me away? Well, in the beer world, or I mean,
my pineapple rosé was just okay. The pumpkin ale is just okay. Do you have a thing against fruit?
it was more of like a just okay because of the introduction that I got about being okay. So, not a lot blows me away. It takes a lot.
All right. Well, somebody find a tornado beer for this man.
There you go.
Hey, Ben, do you want to split, man? Let's go grab a beer somewhere. I just want to let these two kind of finish the episode together. I'm going to let her take over.
Oh my goodness.
Fun. This I like.
This is hilarious.
You're okay, Canope.
I'm good. I'm all right.
Is that an upgrade?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm upgraded now. Yeah.
We already found Carmen Sandiego. # winning.
Hashtag is about to be first place. Hashtag bye-bye Sasquatch.
Ray.
Ben.
You talk about the biggest key to success is to be genuine. What is genuine?
Not fake. Okay.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See you there.
It sounds okay to me.
How does one in the business world, starting their own business, make sure they stay genuine and find out how to be genuine?
And how to use it as a competitive advantage.
Hey guys, that was 3 questions. Where would you like me to start?
Wherever you'd like.
I would say you don't find being genuine. Like you either are or you aren't. You're either going to show up as your authentic self or you are going to sit there and try to be something you're not. Those folks very rarely make it. Some make it through and then we all just sit there and we're like, you're our favorite train wreck to watch. But as far as being genuine and implementing that in your business, more and more, especially with the rise of social media, we have the ability to see behind the scenes, and we can, I mean, my generation and younger, we can really see if it's curated or if you're being your authentic self. I think that, when we show up, I say things off the cuff. That is who I am. I'm not going to apologize for it. Now, if I say something to offend somebody and I realize that what I said was wrong, of course I will apologize because that's the right thing to do. But you can't expect me to apologize every single time I blink because it offends somebody, because that's not who I am. And I think that when you're inputting that into your business, that has to be your foundation. Your values and who you are has to be your foundation. This is your business. It's your legacy. And if you do not infuse your authentic self, if you're stealing values from somebody else, if you aren't being true to who you are, back to what I said earlier, then just stop while you're ahead. Just don't do it. Today's business advice, like if you can't be your real self and if you can't pound the pavement, don't do it. Horrible advice, guys. Like, please follow your dreams. Apparently that's what they told us to do in school.
So follow up, how does one become genuinely concerned, and how to like, there are a lot of people who are small business owners who want to embrace the Black community and the people of color, but they don't know how. They have no idea how. So how do you do that without looking fake, but presenting it as genuine? How does that work?
You should probably have a Black friend. Okay, let's talk about how many folks don't. You know what? It's the Pacific Northwest. I was moderating a panel yesterday, and one of my speakers was a Black woman. She's actually a very close friend of mine. And she straight said, growing up in the PNW means that you are most likely going to be tokenized. The amount of microaggressions I got by the time I got to high school, I was like, whoa, I didn't even know I'm that kind of person. Thanks for letting me know. But if you want to be genuinely authentic in your efforts to progress marginalized communities, because I'm not going to say minorities, because weirdly we are technically the majority, is you have to get to know them. You need to become friends with them. It can't be, oh, I read White Fragility, so now I am like woke. No, you're not. Okay, you're not. Oh, I'm an ally because I posted a Black square on my Instagram. No, you're not. All right, you're not an ally. I just held back from cursing because you're just not. So if you want to be, you need to start inviting Black people to your spaces. You need to include them. I got annihilated on a social media group.
What? Really? Are you serious?
Oh, we're telling the story. We're throwing people under the bus, and I don't care. So I had done some A/B testing using marketing as an example on my course name to, bring it back to our Terror of Powers original comment. And it was InstaBiz Babes or InstaBiz Tribe. I know that my Facebook profile picture could be determined as white passing. I get that. That's fine.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It means I can pass as a white person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good news is, I mean, good news, bad news, I am white, but I'm not fully white. And I just put it up there. I'm Black, white, and Native American. I shouldn't have to throw up my 23andMe to make everybody feel comfortable, but I had to multiple times that night. And all I was doing was asking for very simple A/B testing. Which name do you like better? And I get attacked for using the word tribe, like annihilated. First off, a bunch of white women in Portland. A ton.
For what reason?
Yeah, I don't get that. Why?
Because tribe is an indigenous word, and we shouldn't be using tribe because that belongs to indigenous people. Tribe is a Latin and Old French derived word. It is a white word. Tribe was used to minimize the fact that when white people came over to North America, they wanted to minimize the fact that they were Native American nations. But that's here nor there. Like, people use tribe all the time in their verbiage. And so the lesson of this is when I finally started saying, hey, I'm Black, white, Native, folks started to apologize. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, white people always do this. And I'm like, you are the white person who did it. You are that person. And I was in tears and I was like, okay, suck it up, Buttercup. Like, handle this with grace. I edited my page, what I had said, and I was like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to throw out my 23andMe, but this is who I am. I should be able to use words that are indicative of who I am as a person. You do not get to determine that for me, nor should you harass me for it. And we do not need white people to come up and save us. We need to be included in your spaces. So I didn't feel included tonight. And my hope is that you can learn from this mistake and not continue to pursue it this way. The problem with the Pacific Northwest is they don't necessarily have friends of color. So they don't understand nor are they corrected when they do something wrong. So if you really, really want to do better, invite people into your spaces that are different than you so you can learn a little. And by a little, I mean a lot.
Perfect.
Do you think, well, I'm just going to ask it. Do you think a lot of white people have guilt and it's an overcorrection? Because growing up, I am a little bit older than you are. Not going to say how many years. But growing up, I've said this many times. It seems a lot of people, when they find out that I love looking the way I look because people don't know, and they get like, I don't know what the hell it is. I like Middle Eastern. I get a lot of.
I get that too. Don't worry.
So it's like, it's fun sometimes, but like when they find out, you get this overcorrection, and it's overly. Like, no. Like, I want to be treated like you treat anybody else. That's it. I don't want to be treated differently. And you can see it like flip. Is that genuine? That's not genuine, sister. That's not, right?
No, it's awkward, actually. It's really uncomfortable. It's more uncomfortable for me and you because we have to sit there and watch them like go through the realization. And you're like, oh, wow. Okay, we're going here. All right. Yes. Well, let me try to find the back door to this awkward situation.
Yes. It's so awkward. So I'm going to go back to my original question is how does a small business, and if they're a white small business owner, how do they come across as genuine and not seem like they're overcorrecting? You know what I'm saying? That's a difficult thing, especially now, because it's difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I think I go back to it. It's like, it's hiring folks from different communities. It is putting your money back into the community that helps serve those that might be underrepresented. It's taking on interns from things like emerging leaders. Eli does a great work having internships for underrepresented voices. I have served on mock interviews for them. Those are the types of things that you can do. Like, put your money where your mouth is. Like, as a business owner, like if you can't afford, because you're a small business owner, to give back, then donate your time. Donate your time to those organizations. Get to know them. I'm not saying it always has to be a money solution. Okay? It doesn't have to be. I donate my time for PI. I donate my time for Eli. I donate my time for the American Marketing Association. I donate my time for Women in Tech. I have gone to Out in Tech programs. You have to do what it takes. I'm not a millionaire yet. I will be. But you've got to do what it takes to not only just for them, but for you. Because you cannot sit there and promote something you don't understand. You just can't. I mean, you can, but it's not real.
And real is a synonym for genuine.
Mm-hmm. We're keeping it straight hood here. For KNOPP.
Yeah, you know me.
So, one of the things you told us was that you want to try to stay calm and take things one thing at a time is an important part of your success. Yet, here you are starting your own business in the middle of a pandemic. You're launching a course. You're launching a podcast. So how do you have that much energy? And B, how do you prioritize, that one thing, or how do you try to stay calm and try to manage one thing at a time when you've got, and we all do, as small business owners, we've all got 1,000 things going on. How do you find sort of that serenity and that calmness to really try to tackle one thing at a time so you can give it your best?
So I don't know if anybody here has taken an Enneagram test. I really love personality tests. They make me happy. Anywho, my Enneagram is a 7, which means I have a tendency to have many things up in the air at one time. And I thrive off of that. I actually tend to get very anxious if I can't problem solve, like very anxious, like out of nowhere. And that doesn't seem like it's a part of my personality because I am so happy all the time. And in my eyes, like those are many things, but to me, they're all part of Gray Digital. They are all that one thing that moves Gray Digital forward, because I bucket my life as like, I have Gray Digital, I have American Marketing Association, I have ampersand, I have every day. And so right now, like my big goal is amplify Gray Digital. And part of that is the podcast. It is the course. Like these are my offerings. Most people do not think like that. And that's okay. I would not expect everybody to think like me because you're not me. And that would be weird if you were. So my biggest thing is really focusing on that one thing that's going to push the needle forward for me. And right now that is having a course, and that is building that podcast. I look at the podcast as doing good for the world. I think it's something that will change the world and the way that marketers think. And I know the course is, there are people who just don't have money right now to hire me as an agency and my team. And so having that course is another way that I can help people get off the ground faster and quicker. At the end of the day, it's not about me in those respects. And I have a big heart that goes to help people. So I look at it as a whole as Gray Digital Marketing, but trust me when I say there's plenty of things in the background that one day will have to be number one.
So before we get into the podcast, let's talk about the course. So, how did you go about developing the course? Who are you targeting, and what is sort of included inside your course?
My course is like another baby. I mean, I have a 4-year-old and then I have my course. My course is a baby. Where?
What'd you say?
That was a Canope joke. Just keep going.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry, Canope. Man, you really do get the brunt of all the jokes, man.
That's what I'm here for.
I'll keep going though. I'll just keep pushing. It's like poking on a bruise.
Yeah.
But my course is very much like my one-on-one strategy sessions that I do with clients. So some just need strategy before we move into running their social. And so I go through the process that I would take anybody else. I teach you how to optimize your bio and really hone it in so it is searchable and what attracts your key audience. I go through how to map out so you never feel like you're like a what should I post today kind of moment. And then I break down how you take long form content and put it into multiple strains so you can cover an entire month off of just one piece of content. I also go into design and why design is important. Let's be honest, Instagram is a visual platform. And so why you need to make sure that it is visually appealing, because that's what makes people click follow. And then I go into how you pull people off of social media in order to sell to them long term. So it's really for that that entrepreneur, those small business owners. If you're a bigger business, but you're just breaking into social media and you're hiring a social media director and you want them to have more structure, or you are an influencer or a course creator, it's really there for anybody who sells something. And who might not be able to like spend that $2K, $3K a month in management fees that traditional agencies charge, and upwards from that if it's a larger agency. I believe in leveling the playing field, and I think that that is something that you can do, and it has actionable steps that takes you from point A to point Z in order to get off the ground running and build your following and build your revenue.
Very cool. That's awesome.
I dig that.
Thanks.
So, in the time we have left, let's talk about this podcast of yours that is soon to be number 2 in the Pacific Northwest, behind the number 1 podcast, in front of the new number 3.
We'll be number 3. Who are we kidding?
Sasquatch will be number 3.
Who are we kidding?
Sorry to drag you guys back.
Don't worry about it.
It's not you. It was Sasquatch that was pulling you back.
Right.
You're doing okay by me, bro. Don't worry about it.
Okay, guys, let's talk about my podcast. That will be number 1.
There you go. There you go.
But in all seriousness, though, so your podcast is really trying to tackle a very serious issue, not only in the cultural war that we're seeing and the cultural issues that we're fighting, but also but taking your marketing lens and your marketing expertise and trying to shine a light on this cultural issue from a marketing standpoint.
Yes. So our diverse pineapple tribe really truly was, I mean, like I said earlier, it had to do with the fact that I got really frustrated with people asking me, how do you market to Black people? First off, I'm a quarter Black. How in the world am I going to know? Like, we're 17% of the population. I am one person of 17%. And that's people who just identify as Black, not even multiracial, which is majority of us, by the way. And I can't dictate what that looks like. What I can do is tell you what I see. I drink a lot of Sprite. I do. But they have the worst commercials. Okay? The worst. Like, I can't stand it. And so it was things like, along with that question, versus the Sprite commercials that only have a athlete, hip hop artist, or Gen Z racially ambiguous kids in a basement listening to hip hop music, drinking Sprite. Like, come on. Why is there always that one Black ad? Like, we're not all from the streets of Hazeldale, okay? So, but in all seriousness, like, that's what we see. And we're $1 trillion buy power, but we're sitting there looking at the fact that we're always marketed, like who we are, our culture is always marketed, but we're never marketed to. And that's sad. And so even though, like, it's not all on Black voices, the first season primarily is, it's to hear from other people, everyday people, share their story as to when they have been marketed to well and when they haven't, and what that looks like, and why it hurts, why there's pain behind that, how marketers can be better. And then I give tangible takeaways of what people can do to improve moving forward. I know it speaks highly to marketing personas. I think we need to get rid of marketing personas. I think they're archaic. I don't think that you can market to just one person, but you really should be marketing to one mindset, because many of us are equal on mindset and similar in scope that way. We aren't as people. And by saying I'm marketing to one person really does alienate many others who might have been behind your brand and would stop you from doing weird stereotypical ads like Sprite commercials or Burger King's weird commercial with the midget man who was a Mexican wrestler. Like there's just so many instances of such poor stereotypical marketing that it needs to be knocked off. And for goodness sakes, America, get your shit together and stop just throwing a random Black person to your ads because you feel like you need to be woke because of everything that's been going on. You haven't. And we literally, that weird gingerbread commercial, Audi, get real. You can do better.
So we won't have Sprite.
You can have
Audi.
Sprite. It's delicious.
We won't
She
have.
drinks it. She still drinks it.
Yeah.
No, as sponsors, we won't have any of those.
Well, have you ever noticed that Coca-Cola commercials primarily are white people and Sprite commercials are primarily Black people?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a joke, actually. Isn't that a joke? That's like a
SNL did a skit
Yeah,
on
they did.
Sprite being
Yeah,
the Black
yeah,
drink.
yeah.
Like, I'm just saying.
Really?
Yes.
yeah,
YouTube that.
yeah.
Are there any platforms that you would suggest that people avoid, or is it more of you tailor what you want to that particular platform? How does that work?
I tell people to pick one platform and get really good at it before expanding. By all means, please take your name on all the platforms. You don't have to post on them. Take the name, like own it. But you need to be really good at one before you can be good at another. And that is really important to me. And then you can also use that one that you got really, really good at to leverage the next one that you hop into. If you look at the statistics, you can see which age ranges live on each platform. Now, though we say TikTok is primarily young people, there are businesses on TikTok, and it would be wise to start to understand TikTok from the perspective of the fact that they have not changed the algorithm to benefit one group of people, which is the people with money. So that's something, if you're comfortable with being an early adopter. If you're not in that boat, if you're like, no, I'm comfortable in Facebook right now, then stay comfortable in Facebook. Nobody's telling you you're wrong, but you need to go where your audience is. And the very smartest thing I can tell you is traditionally older folks live in Facebook and those who have money. However, don't get to the trap of my audience isn't on Instagram, because eventually they're going to move into Instagram, or they grew up with Instagram and that's all they knew. So you want to make sure that you have your hand in every bucket and start to pay attention when your audience shifts, because social media could be gone in the blink of an eye and it could become the next MySpace.
Mm.
Can only be so lucky.
I know.
Do we have a TikTok handle? I mean, my concern is that we don't.
We do.
We don't know how to dance, and I don't think that we can be on TikTok without being able to dance, right?
Hey,
You don't have to dance.
You mute him. Mute him, will you?
It seems like there's a lot of that going on. I'm trying. I personally am not. I look at Instagram, and I have no idea how to really. I go through it. I look at it, and I'm thinking, how can I utilize this? Facebook obviously is more familiar to me, but to be honest with you, I don't really like any of them. And maybe it's just because I don't spend much time in them and I haven't gotten used to them. But TikTok would be something that I see that's becoming rather large, but I just wouldn't know how, for business over beer, as an example, to even relate to it.
You could literally probably do a TikTok for each mystery beer that you have right after the fact. It could just literally be a TikTok full of mystery beer. Like Angie's beer. And then it could be like, guess what this is? And then like take a fake swig with the brown paper bag and then reveal it and have one person shocked in the background. And you guys can each record clips and then somebody can put it together.
Ray, thank you so much, man. It was so great having you on. You were super informative. I love your story. I love what you're trying to do. I can't wait for your podcast. But we're going to leave it there for tonight. But before we go, Ben, it's time.
It's time for the final question, Ray. Are you ready?
I was born ready?
Are you telling me? You're asking me. I don't know.
I don't know. I felt a little uncomfortable when I was told there was a final question. So I'm asking / telling.
That's kind of weird for me. That usually happens when Canope talks. Okay.
He gone.
Here you go. All right. Final question. The year is 2020 blank. Doesn't matter. And Ray, you just won an Oscar, a Tony, and a Grammy. You won. You got the trifecta.
Mm-hmm.
Some might even say she's a triple threat.
A triple threat. You did it. You did it. You did it. Yes, that's the look of relief. You did it. But my question to you is, you have to pick who gave you that award in both the Oscars, the Tonys, and the Grammys. And they have to be separate people. They could be living or not so much.
Okay. Well, it's funny you say that because in high school I was voted most likely to be famous for the fact that everybody thought I would have all three of those. That never happened.
Yet.
So, yet, I mean, who knows? Maybe somebody's going to hear this, see this, and be like, hey, she should be famous at the age of 30. Anywho.
I wouldn't hold my breath for that, just FYI.
I'm not going to. It ain't happening. I mean, I could be famous, but not for those reasons. So, if it were an Oscar, I would want it to be Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Dave Chappelle, I hope you're listening to this. You're my black hero.
That'd be awesome if he was. By the way, yeah, please.
We hope he's listening too.
Yes,
Hi,
we do.
Dave. I went to Dayton. I went to the University of Dayton. Go Dayton, Ohio.
If it were a Tony Award, I would want it to be Jennifer Hudson. Very random, I know. Or, oh gosh. Damn it.
Because you got a Grammy too.
No. She's not giving me a Grammy. I have that one solidified in my brain.
Okay.
That's why I saved it for last. So I would take Adina Menzel. Well, I can't say her last name. The lady who led Wicked and also the voice of Elsa from Frozen.
She's amazing.
Idina Menzel.
Yeah, she's an incredible singer. You know, she has a Tony or 5. And then for my Grammy, controversial statement, everybody, but I would want Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Why is that controversial?
Yeah, I don't get.
So many people have something against Michael Jackson, but you know what? He's the greatest of all time.
He's the king of pop. He's it.
Exactly.
He is.
Thriller, one of the greatest albums of all time.
I owned an OG Thriller tape.
I got the record. I still have the Thriller record with the jacket and everything.
Legit.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben, she doesn't know what tapes are.
I do know what tapes are. Thank you. I was born in 1990.
Yeah.
I remember what iPods are too. And Walkman.
She was born in 1990. My apologies.
She wouldn't know.
Exactly. I do not know what that is still to this day.
An 8-track?
Yeah, I don't really get what it does. I don't get it.
You should go to the Clark County Historical Museum here in Vancouver.
Amen.
They've got a music exhibit with an 8-track player that still plays. Go check it out. 100%. Ray,
right.
It was awesome talking with you. Thank you so much for joining us on Business Over Beer. This is your chance now to tell us where to find Carmen Sandiego, to tell us where to find your podcast, and any information about your upcoming course. People want to find you. Where should they go?
Oh, you're going to find me on Instagram because that's where I like to party. At Gray, and that's Gray with an A, Digital MKTG. Or you can just look up the hashtag Pineapple Tribe because you will also find me because I'm pretty sure I've made it my own. So that's where you're going to find any information on my course. You will also find information on my podcast. All of those links are linked back in my bio. So easy peasy. I'll make it a one-stop shop for everybody.
Outstanding. And as always, everything we talked about in tonight's episode, including Ray's contact information, will be available in the show notes and the blog post for this episode. Go check it out.
Speaking of checking out, Canope,
Yes.
where can people check out Business Over Beer?
This is something that I am very excited about. You can find us at bizoverbeer.com, bizoverbeer.com. Our social media handle is bizoverbeer, and you can listen to our podcast. You can read our blogs. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, I think there's something on there for that too. Is there not, Ben?
There is the Patreon page, but the Patreon page is only one part of the PPP. Yes.
Tell me more.
Patreon. Partnerships and the podcast. You can find everything on the website, actually, Canope. Listen, if you want to be a Patreon, I would love to have everybody go there, sign up. You can listen to this podcast early, but more important, and I'm sorry, Carmen Sandiego, one of the biggest things people can do in the Patreon is join our monthly happy hour. This is where you get to join us and other small business owners, entrepreneurs, people who are passionate about what they do, and we can actually get together and brainstorm, and we can mastermind together to solve all the problems that we have. And I think there's some problems that people might be having now. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And partnerships. If people want to go to our website, and we would love to talk to people about partnerships. Some people call them sponsors. We're calling them partnerships because it's not just giving money to get your name out there. There's part of it, but we want to have you part of our community that we're trying to build. And the podcast, of course, listen, Kaylor spends hours and hours and hours. Look at him. Look at him down there. Look at him. He's tired. He's ready to go to sleep right now. We want you to listen to our podcast. And if you can just do that, we would appreciate that as well. Thank you so much. Ray, you are a ray of sunshine. And you are very part of our community. You speak to us. Your sales is our sales. The fact that you are all about human to human interaction is huge. And the fact that you are another mutt like I am, I love it. And I'm so glad to have you on. And I can't wait to talk to you again. We appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. It was fun, being a mutt with Ben. It's been amazing getting to know Mr. Kaylor, the terror of power over there. And Canope, you're more than okay. You're a good guy in my book.
I appreciate that. That's so kind of you to say.
Ray, Kaylor, Canope, people watching, people listening, thank you so much. We will see you all next time.
Good night. Business Over Beer reminds you to always drink responsibly. Our theme song is Idiocracy by Christian Leo. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Business Over Beer, a TH3 Entertainment production.